Recording is started. Okay, we're good to go. Okay, so doing top down here on the market, what we're really looking at over the weekend. If you guys did trade, I mean, kudos to you guys. You guys are braver than I am, or maybe you just had nothing better to do. But clearly, just breakout, retest, breakout, retest, breakout, retest, continuation. We've since rolled over, so you get all this in here: breakout, continuation, breakout, continuation. Right? You got all of that all in here. Okay. So they're just wrecking people, right? Trapping traders, and then SFPing. So if you're trying to get short in here, I mean, I was talking to Gio, he got short here. I mean, 4 a.m. for the sweep, pretty aggressive. And then today they had that last kind of sweep with the Donald Trump news event. Okay, so that came up. That was really our tell this morning that price was going to come down. Also, the other tell was just looking at price action, right? We can see that, hey, we are like way overextended here. It's just a matter of time. Once the structure changes, once we start mitigating lows, we should be looking for shorts. Even though we are in a very aggressive market right now that has been pushing up. Right now, we're currently looking for the sweep of these lows and a bounce and continuation, but we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, okay? We want to be prepared traders, not, just gamblers. So probabilities suggest that we come down in here. Now, when we look at our higher term time frame, so we understand that we are within this range. We were talking about this in this morning video, but we're within this range, right? And we're trying to hold basically the highs of this range, which come in at $100,000. That's going to be that psychological level that we're all looking at. If we're looking at volume levels, we can see that we do have a different range within here that we are interested in as well. And then we pull up our key levels of support and resistance within this area here. And that's going to be, this red line here, which is at 101,800. Okay, so let's look here. 101,800 and then 105. Okay, so those are our two levels we are looking to hold initially. You can see we have a volume node in here that I would look for it to tap and bounce and potentially hold, okay? If we do not hold that level, then we look to get acceptance back down into this range where we do have that large amount of support at 100,000. We have this volume node that starts to pick up in here and that big support at 98,000, which would be the retest of previous highs, okay? Do we come down there right away? I don't necessarily think so. I remain bullish until really we lose 101.8 here, okay? We do have all of our key levels on the way down that we are looking for potential bounces. What do we mean by that? Now, when we're talking about potential bounces and we look at key areas, so you guys always get my areas every morning, and what are we looking for within those areas? So we need to clarify that for you guys sometimes, and that's just we're looking for it to come down, mitigate, and continue, okay? So just like I said from before, is we're looking for this pattern where we come down, we put in some sort of double bottom, and then we take that high right here, and then we look for continuation. That is the safe way, okay? So we can look for this trade within here, within here, within here, within here, and we are looking to get long off of the continuation, okay? That is going to be key. For example, okay, we can go into like a 5-minute time frame here, and we can look at it on the way up here. So here's where it would be. Okay, we get an SFP of the lows right in here, and then we can look to break structure on the way down right in here, and we are getting long off of the next higher low. Okay, stop loss below the low, continuation trade. Okay, or you can get long off the break of structure right here. Okay, so that's the safe way. Okay, there's sometimes the safe way. You don't make as much money, but you at least have confirmation of trend, and that's going to be critical to your trading. Okay, especially if you're not so much trading like I will, where you get an SFP, you reclaim the range, you can get long here, stop loss below the low here. Okay, it's a lot different, but remember, I'm aggressively taking profits, right? Just like we did on this long that we just took here, right? We got long, stop loss to entry, good close, right? It came back against us, right? So it's very important that you are taking trades based on your strategy, right? Right now we are looking for the long. We are looking for the SFP. If we start to close, okay, so we got bullish divergence here. So the version of that trade in here is we would take this high and we would retest and continue. And you're pulling a fib from low to high, okay? And you're looking within your golden pocket 786 retracement level or retest of previous highs for that trade onwards and upwards, okay? That's what you're trying to do in these situations. Now we are getting a nice bounce right now, so we'll see if it does want to continue up, but that's typically how I would trade off of confirmation, okay? And that's going to be critical to your success when trying to trade Bitcoin price action. Is yes, we're in a higher term uptrend, but you want to wait for stuff like this. That's going to be critical. Okay. So looking at the rest of the market, and then we'll go through Bitcoin top-down analysis. So dominance dropping. Okay. I want you all to mark out 61.3% right here. I want you to mark out this low here. Okay. 61.3% and put an alert here. This is going to be our very big warning sign, I would say. Our big warning sign that we have got an acceptance back into this range and we have mitigated a significant low. Okay? This is going to be my key level for us to drop down and take this low. When we take this low, which is right here, we can look for anything like that. Okay? We can look for this thing to fall. Not until then. Not until then. We want to wait for confirmation, just like we do for Bitcoin or anything else. We want to look for that as well. So I ask you kindly to mark out that level so that when you get an alert, you're like, okay, we have sufficiently come down far enough that we can start to look for rotation into altcoins. Bitcoin dominance is dropping. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, that's the level that I'm looking for. So let's wait for that. And that would mean getting into this golden pocket level. Okay, when we zoom out on a macro, this is our golden pocket level here within our Bitcoin dominance chart. Okay, so getting acceptance in here, revisiting that high, okay, is going to be critical. And then we can look for further continuation down. Not until then, okay? Now, looking at the dollar we want to roll over, come back down to 100. That's key. We were also looking at the SPY and the NASDAQ before the weekend, right? So we noticed that there was divergences between the NASDAQ and the ES. Okay, and that has since been changed. Awesome. This is good news, okay? This is no longer that divergence that we really didn't want to see, okay? So we have that. And now we have swept this high, creating a good structure change for the NASDAQ. Obviously, since we've gotten rocketed down here, now we have sufficient evidence to think that, hey, any sort of retest within this area will be followed by a push, okay? Which is good for all of our assets, right? We can see the NASDAQ's up 3% after the China news. Okay, the ES as well, 2.5%. Happy days, okay? Happy days. So when we look across altcoins, what do we see? We see Total 3 breaking out, getting up to that $900 billion level. Okay, very nice inverse head and shoulders that we were prepared for down here. We said we wanted to mitigate this high and break out. We have done such. So now we are looking for rotation, obviously back up to the highs. Now that is going to be met with some resistance, as you can see in here and in here. But nonetheless, we can still favor continuation now. Now that we have changed this downward structure, we can favor continuation here. So any pullback, we are looking to buy. So if we are going to go through altcoins today, let's do pullback levels to where we're looking to potentially buy on more of like a 4-hour macro chart. So maybe we do that today. So we all have those key levels on all of your favorite altcoins. So if you guys want to spam the altcoins that you guys are potentially looking to get into, put them in the chat, and then I will tally them up, and we will do those all today, okay? So we have key levels. We can set all of our alarms, and we're ready to go. So we're not just sitting here watching price go up and worrying, okay? And if it's a complete shit coin, keep it to yourself. Because I mean that's your prerogative. If we want top maybe top 200 at max, right? We don't want to something without data. I mean, you're gonna have to call someone else. Maybe go on like I don't know, get Frankie Candles to look at it on his live stream or something. He'll do a good job for you. I know he will. So yeah, total 3 looking good. Bitcoin dominance coming down. Others dominance coming back into our hot dog zone. Make sure you guys have the sell motherfucker area on your chart, okay? 15 to 17% sell motherfucker, okay? Mark that out on your others chart. You want to be selling and making money, okay? So 15 to 17%. That's my sell motherfucker zone, okay? It's just like my so you have others dominance getting into this area here. Our hot dog zone that we were talking about on the weekend. So we said we want to get acceptance back above here into that 8% range. Okay, we don't want to be down in here. So this is a very good sign. Okay. We also have another sell motherfucker zone. Okay, so we have this one up here, right, for your altcoins, getting up to 15 to 17%. Okay, and then we also have another one on USDT dominance, which is down here, which is take profits. We can change it to sell motherfucker as well. And make sure you have alerts set around these areas, okay? Alerts, 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 okay? So big USDT dominance rolling over as well. Very beautiful. But make sure you guys have warning signs for where to sell. We must sell, okay? We must. Let's not be those people who do not make money on this bull run. Please, okay? And I will tell you whenever I'm selling, I did not sell my SUI yet. I think we can still push a little bit more. So I haven't sold anything yet. And the only thing that I did buy so far is that 10K Bitcoin at 81,000, as you guys know. Okay? Let's keep going. So ES Russell getting into breadth expansion, tapping this high. Very nice move for Russell as well. Okay? We look around. We're going to look at through all the altcoins. What's important to see too is ETH BTC has mitigated this high. Okay, you can see here we have come above this high here, suggesting continuation out now. Okay, any pullback like we're going to look for is going to be met with continuation. That's what we're trying to favor as technical analysis now. Okay, so a lot of goodies here coming through. The S&P. We want to see the S&P. So we do have a range in here. At minimum, we want to see the S&P hold 5,600. But right now, getting up into this like upper echelon here and holding would be very bullish, okay? If we can hold this area within here, very bullish on the S&P. That 5,777 area that we've had marked out, that we gapped up to today, if we can hold here, I do see us, going into much higher term price action. And just like we come down aggressively, we get V-shaped recovery up aggressively, okay? So very good sign all across the market. So with Bitcoin here, going back to Bitcoin, we are looking for a bottoming structure and a bounce out of here. Where are we looking? We have all of our levels down below us here. I'm favoring us holding 100,000 right now. Okay, if we are to break down, we come to 97.98. Okay, if we are to break down, we're coming here. That's where I would look for our possible continuation. Now, Bitcoin, when it goes, it goes. Okay, when it goes, it goes. So there's no reason to not think it won't continue. Everybody's bullish, lots of adoption, things like that. But let's just be aware that we could potentially come down, okay? Because they're looking to squeeze those leverage longs. And, I don't know if they've done a sufficient job today. They had the opportunity with some news. Right now, it looks like we're pushing up. But that could be met with rejection today. So we'll keep an eye on that. The 12-hour rolling over, okay? The daily rolling over. They all look reasonably ready for some downwards action here, right? And, we're at the highs. So we're typically looking for shorts until proven otherwise. But any retest into these areas that we have should be met with, confluence and confirmation, and then we take longs, okay? Our 4, our 3, our 2, rolling over a little bit here. 4 hour looks to be posturing for a trigger wave, which I do like. If we do get the confirmation here to get long. So the confirmation, like we discussed, would be breaking that high and retesting back down for a higher low or a sweep of the lows. Okay, so we'll see if we get that today. I'm not sure if we will. Asia's been super pumpy the past couple of weeks, so long Asia if we get the opportunity as well. But flipping through here, it's all looking a little bit overextended after the dump this morning. Coming for these lows, I'm surprised, we barely swept this low here. Okay, but we were looking at this low, and we'll see if we do want to push back up. Now, the concern is if we push back up here, looking at this generally, right, we have our resistance at these lows. This is going to be where we're typically looking for shorts if we get the confirmation to get short, okay? Would be the retest of these lows in here, that volume node, okay, trying to hold us down. But right now, pushing back quite aggressively. We'll see if it does want to continue. The confirmation, as we described, is the push up. Let's go 5 minute. Is the push up above here. Above this high. Breaking that high, right? Breaking that high, looking for a higher low or a sweep, right? And getting on the train. Okay, breaking the high, higher low or a sweep. Remember, we haven't fully swept this area, so that's still on the table, okay? So we're not just buying here. We want to buy on confirmation. If we come in here and we close some positive candles, we can look to get long and take this back up to the highs of the range. Okay, and that's my plan for the market. Hopefully that helps you guys all navigate this upcoming week. Remember, we also have inflation data and some news events coming as well.